Have you ever felt like you're carrying a weight that no one else can see? A constant hum of anxiety, a sense that something is fundamentally off within you, even if you can't quite pinpoint why. For so many of us, the invisible scars of the past whisper, sometimes scream, into our present. Today, we're not just talking about a diagnosis. We're pulling back the curtain on complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD. This isn't about a single bad day or a fleeting moment of fear. This is about the insidious, often relentless aftermath of living through prolonged trauma, the kind that reshapes your very sense of self, your relationships, and your place in the world. If you've been living with an unexplained exhaustion, a deep-seated loneliness, or a feeling that you're constantly fighting an unseen battle, then this might be the conversation you've been waiting for. It's time to finally put a name to that silent struggle. Understanding the roots of CPTSD. Unlike traditional PTSD, which often stems from a single, intensely traumatic event, CPTSD emerges from sustained, repeated trauma, the kind that happens within relationships, often in childhood. Think of it as a relentless erosion of the self, leaving behind a landscape of deep-seated emotional and psychological wounds. It's the byproduct of living in an environment where safety was consistently absent, where your sense of self was routinely undermined, or where your fundamental needs for love and security were repeatedly unmet. This isn't about weak individuals. It's about the remarkable, albeit often painful, resilience of the human psyche, adapting to unimaginable circumstances. Let's dive into the core symptoms, the markers that can help you identify if CPTSD resonates with your experience. These aren't just clinical terms. They're echoes of lived pain, often hidden in plain sight. Sign 1. Emotional dysregulation, the unpredictable tides. Imagine trying to navigate a stormy sea without a compass. That's what emotional dysregulation feels like. You might experience intense mood swings, from sudden bursts of rage to overwhelming sadness, often with little apparent trigger. This isn't just being moody. It's a nervous system that's been wired for constant threat, struggling to return to a state of calm. You might feel like your emotions are too big for you, or that you're constantly on the verge of an emotional eruption. This can manifest as explosive anger, chronic anxiety, profound depression, or even intense shame that feels all-consuming. The ability to soothe yourself, which often develops in secure early relationships, might be severely underdeveloped. Sign 2. Distorted self-perception, the broken mirror. Trauma often warps how we see ourselves. With CPTSD, this manifests as profoundly distorted self-perception. You might grapple with pervasive feelings of shame and guilt, believing you are inherently flawed, worthless, or bad. This isn't a fleeting thought. It's a deep-seated conviction, often stemming from being blamed or shamed by your abusers. You might feel perpetually different from others, like an outsider looking in, or carry a profound sense of defectiveness. This can lead to a desperate need for external validation, yet simultaneously a deep distrust of compliments or genuine affection. The inner critic becomes a relentless tormentor, echoing the negative messages absorbed during formative years. Sign 3. Relationship difficulties, the dance of distrust. The very relationships that should offer solace often become minefields for those with CPTSD. Relationship difficulties are a hallmark symptom, rooted in a deep-seated distrust of others. You might struggle to form secure attachments, oscillating between intense longing for connection and an overwhelming fear of abandonment or betrayal. This can lead to a pattern of unhealthy relationships, including trauma bonding, where you unconsciously recreate the dynamics of your past. You might find yourself drawn to emotionally unavailable partners or struggle with boundaries, either being too rigid or too porous. The ability to trust, the very foundation of healthy connection, has been fractured. The paradox is heartbreaking, a yearning for connection, yet an inherent terror of it. Sign 4. Dissociation, the escape hatch. When reality becomes too overwhelming, the mind seeks an escape. Dissociation is a powerful, often unconscious coping mechanism. This can range from mild feelings of detachment, like being an observer of your own life, to more severe forms like depersonalization, feeling unreal, or derealization, the world feeling unreal. You might experience memory gaps, a sense of losing time, or difficulty connecting with your emotions. It's like your brain is pulling a fire alarm, trying to protect you by disconnecting from the present moment. This can manifest as zoning out, feeling numb, or a pervasive sense of unreality. For some, it's a vital survival tool that over time becomes a significant barrier to feeling truly present and connected. Sign 5, physical symptoms. The body keeps the score. The impact of CPTSD isn't confined to the mind. It profoundly affects the body. Physical symptoms are incredibly common, reflecting a nervous system stuck in a perpetual state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. This can manifest as chronic pain, digestive issues, fatigue, autoimmune disorders, or heightened sensitivity to noise and light. Your body is constantly on high alert, even when no immediate threat exists. The adrenal system is overworked, leading to a host of physical ailments that modern medicine often struggles to diagnose or treat effectively. It's the body's silent scream, carrying the weight of unhealed trauma. Sign 6, loss of meaning and hope, the dimming light. Prolonged trauma can strip away a person's sense of purpose and future. Loss of meaning and hope is a deeply painful symptom of CPTSD. You might feel a profound sense of hopelessness, a belief that things will never get better, or that you are inherently doomed. This isn't just sadness. It's a pervasive sense of anhedonia, an inability to experience pleasure or joy. You might struggle to envision a future, feeling trapped by the past, or question the very point of existence. This spiritual and existential crisis can be incredibly isolating, making it difficult to engage with life or find motivation. Sign 7, shame, guilt, and self-blame, the internalized abuser. One of the most insidious aspects of CPTSD is the internalization of the abuser's narrative. Shame, guilt, and self-blame become deeply ingrained. You might believe that the abuse was somehow your fault, that you deserved it, or that you are inherently bad. This self-blame is a desperate attempt to make sense of the unimaginable, to create an illusion of control where there was none. It's the ultimate betrayal, where the victim takes on the perpetrator's perspective. This heavy burden of self-condemnation can make healing incredibly challenging, as it often prevents individuals from seeking help or even acknowledging their pain. Sign 8, difficulty with self-compassion and self-care, the neglected child. The ability to care for oneself, to offer kindness and understanding, is often severely compromised in CPTSD. Difficulty with self-compassion and self-care is a direct consequence of a childhood where self-worth was systematically eroded. You might neglect your basic needs, engage in self-sabotaging behaviors, or find it almost impossible to prioritize your own well-being. The concept of deserving care or comfort can feel alien. This often stems from a deeply ingrained belief that you are unworthy of love or care, a belief tragically reinforced by past experiences. It's an internal war where one part of you desperately needs nurturing and another part believes you don't deserve it. Sign 9, pervasive feelings of emptiness, the hollow core. After prolonged trauma, some individuals describe a profound and unsettling sensation of pervasive emptiness. This isn't just boredom, it's a sense of a hollow core, a lack of connection to oneself or the world. You might feel numb, directionless, or as though a vital part of you is missing. This can lead to a desperate search for external stimulation or a feeling of being constantly unfulfilled, no matter what you achieve or experience. It's a void left by the absence of genuine connection and affirmation in formative years. Sign 10th, difficulty with boundaries, the porous self. Trauma often obliterates a person's sense of personal boundaries. With CPTSD, difficulty with boundaries is a persistent struggle. You might find it hard to say no, to protect your own space and time, or to assert your needs. Conversely, you might become overly rigid, pushing others away as a means of self-protection. This stems from a history where your boundaries were consistently violated, leaving you without a clear understanding of where you end and another person begins. The consequence is often a life of feeling overwhelmed, resentful, or perpetually misunderstood. Sign 11th, hypervigilance, the ever-watchful sentinel. Living with CPTSD often means living with a nervous system perpetually primed for danger. Hypervigilance is the constant state of alertness, scanning the environment for threats that may or may not be there. You might be easily startled, highly sensitive to sounds or movements, or constantly anticipating the worst. This isn't a conscious choice. It's an ingrained survival mechanism that, while once necessary, now keeps you trapped in a state of chronic stress and exhaustion. It's like an internal alarm system that's constantly blaring, even when there's no fire. Sign 12, Re-enactment of Trauma, the unseen pull. Perhaps one of the most heartbreaking symptoms is the unconscious reenactment of trauma. This isn't about willingly seeking out painful situations, but rather an unconscious pull towards familiar, albeit unhealthy dynamics. You might find yourself repeatedly drawn into similar abusive relationships, situations that mirror your past, or even self-sabotaging behaviors that prevent you from experiencing genuine safety and happiness. It's the psyche's desperate, often misguided attempt to master the trauma, to finally gain control over what was once uncontrollable. The pain is not merely remembered, it is relived. Finding your way back. Recognizing these symptoms is the first, brave step towards healing. If any of these resonate deeply with you, please understand that you are not alone and you are not broken. You are a survivor, and your responses are logical adaptations to illogical circumstances. The path to healing from CPTSD is not a linear one, and it requires immense courage, patience, and often professional support. It involves building safety in your life, both external and internal. It means learning to regulate those overwhelming emotions bit by bit. It's about slowly, gently, reconnecting with yourself and others, fostering a sense of secure attachment. And fundamentally, it's about grieving the losses, integrating your past without letting it define your future, and rediscovering your inherent worth. Remember, true strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising again, even when the gravity of your past feels overwhelming. The journey out of the shadows of CPTSD is long, but it is deeply rewarding. It's a journey of reclaiming yourself, one breath, one moment, one brave step at a time. If this video has resonated with you, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more content that aims to shed light on complex psychological topics. Your support helps us reach more people who might be silently struggling. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these symptoms resonated most deeply with your own experience, or the experience of someone you know? Sharing your thoughts helps build a community of understanding and support. Speaking of understanding challenging relationship dynamics, if you found yourself connecting with the relationship struggles we discussed today, you might find my previous video, 10 Signs You're Trauma Bonded, Not Actually in Love, incredibly insightful. It delves deeper into how past wounds can unknowingly shape our present relationships. Thank you for watching, and remember, your healing journey is uniquely yours, and it's a journey worth taking.